When did this become acceptable?
Yeah, I think it became acceptable when the left got in charge. Anytime you oppose the left, they've been doing this now. They always, look back to Obama's days when that college professor, or whatever it was, when the cops got called because they thought he was breaking into his house, and he rushed out and called the cops stupid and all that, and they ended up having to go have his beer summit and all that because they jump immediately to what's the knee-jerk reaction to a photo that was opportunistic to them. And I just think it's all garbage. It's and you keep doing that to our people out there, and you're not going to have any people out there to man those walls for you and to do that.
Maybe that's the end game, because then they could declare martial law or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't understand their logic anymore. To me, that those pictures were everything Texas. Like that. Jack with our border, you're going to get some dudes on horse. That screamed Texas to me, but the truth, they didn't hit him with the whip. So I don't, but truth doesn't matter anymore. Narrative does.
Never does. So, Justin Glass, good morning. Diana Hawes, Bobby Leister checking in. Ran into Bobby yesterday. Good to see you, sir. Scott Snow, Rena Scherer, David Glass is in. Clint Ives, Leisterometers holding steady to 1,003 YouTubers. Ryan Hopping, good morning. Chris Conrad checking in. Jeremy Pena is all the way in South Carolina. We're huge in South Carolina this morning. H.R. Mallory, good morning to you, sir. Judge Posey, Lisa Poole, Natalie Mayer, good morning. Rob Moore Knipling, Christina Wise, we're huge in Denver, almost coast to coast. Karen Webb, good morning. Patrick Strauss, the Iceman is in. Roy Gutierrez, Lorena Bargenbrook, Diane Tippett, BJ Nelson, Adam Sugar, Ricky King, good morning. Tracy Price, Amanda Smith King. Adam Sugar said politicians have never been noble.
True.
Chris Conrad says end games to get Border Patrol agents to quit, making the situation even more untenable.
What else could be the goal? Yeah, you're not supporting your own people, so
make it easier for people to come in and cartels to go out. Here's the lie. Remember on Monday we talked about the situation as it was unfolding over the weekend, and that the Biden administration announced that they were flying the Haitians back to Haiti.
Has there been an update to that, perhaps?
That's just simply not the case.
Some deportations are not happening.
Some are being flown back to Haiti. Some are being bussed into the country. Some are being flown to Tucson, Arizona. Others are being flown to Orlando, according to some reports that I've seen. So, yeah, they're just another bold-faced lie by a politician. When will people get tired of the lies?
Well, even if they are, so what? At this point, when do we see any type of accountability at all from those quote unquote above us? And are they being vaccinated?
You've got to be vaccinated if you're an American. You've got to be vaccinated if you're a tourist coming to this country.
Well, the number one hurricane thing that you could do to get prepared for the hurricane, according to President Biden, was to get vaccinated. And so
it'll stop it'll stop hurricanes like it stops COVID.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, geez, New Orleans is 90% vaccinated. I'm not going there as a hurricane.
No, I don't think the insanity does stop because we keep voting it in, and look at I'll use Victoria as a microcosm. The bond has failed 3 times, yet we vote in candidates that run solely on passing a bond, and then we vote them in and then deny their bond. And we vote this on ourselves, and until the voters hold them accountable and toss all these fools out, then I don't think anything's going to happen.
H.R. Mallory says family units and pregnant females are being allowed to remain with a notice to appear in 60 days. Yeah, I saw pictures of some of these, quote, pregnant females.
Yeah, they're not even checking, from my understanding. Is you just have to tell them. And now
what do you identify as female and
you want to say you're pregnant? I don't know why all the males just don't identify as female also to get across the border.
H.R. Mallory says single males are being flown out. I don't know. Still, when they say they're sending all the Haitians back to Haiti, and that's not what they do, still a lie.
Well, they know 95% of the news media will cover it. And you read the headlines, mass deportations, Biden solving border problems, and they spin it as a win. And, it's when you're getting skunked 65-0 on the scoreboard and the team's still celebrating, and you pointed out, like, guys, 65-0. I know. You're the zero. I know. And they're still celebrating. You got a problem. You know, and I don't know the answer. Sadly. You got anything?
I mean, many do, but they don't. I mean, it's just.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating and it's scary. And I mean, we were sitting out there last night, and there's just so many things happening on so many fronts that you almost have to just laugh about it, but it's not funny, you know. And it's like, where do you turn your attention to? Where do you don't want to live in fear? You don't want to be scared and make emotional decisions on things.
But I'm convinced that this administration wants you to live in fear, because then they can control you
and divide us, you know, and if they can get us fearing things and looking suspiciously at our neighbors all the time and all that. And if you think about it, it's working. I mean, it's working really, really well. Look at all the little camps they've got us divided into all the vaccine, no vaccine, you know, and even there you can't get information, you know. Again, a lot of this is not that I don't like the vaccine or I don't think COVID is real. I don't trust all the information sources, because even the ones they tell me to trust change every 5 minutes. And then they tell, no, they didn't. Yeah, I just saw you change that. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what to do with it.
So I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it a little bit, and then we just have to sit back and watch the clown show. And it's almost something we have zero control over. And then the people that we elect that talk the big game, they don't do anything. And then their bosses don't do anything. And so those taxes keep on coming out of our checks and our properties, and no accountability. Anyway, is there anything positive going on? I feel all negative today, and I was in a good mood and got myself all worked up.
Yeah, I don't know.
You have to go deep on that one.
You know, I'm hoping that when Mayor Bachnight comes in, we'll have some interesting stuff to talk about, because I think there are some positive, things happening in Victoria, and so we'll get to talk with him about that. He'll be in bottom of the hour. I take this as a positive. Federal lawmakers couldn't reach agreement on federal police reform, which I think is good.
They weren't able to defund the police?
I guess not. That's kind of the way I read it. A lot of stuff that they wanted, qualified immunity, which would have shielded law or police from personal liability, was one thing that they could not agree on. Use of no-knock warrants ran into some challenges. An officer accountability database. How do you even manage that? That's just government growth, doesn't it?
Right. Anytime. I mean, look what happened to all of our Afghanistan list.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like about this, about gun registries, about all these things is it's just another list that the government has with your intel on it. And they have enough. I mean, they have enough. And yeah.
Because we don't have enough problems right now with people being doxxed, as this Border Patrol agent is now.
Yeah,
simply for riding horseback and everything else. You want a database that could probably be hacked by somebody for ransomware or others.
Yeah, this guy's whole life has been torn apart already for doing his job. And
he's had death threats.
Yeah. And dang well his information would be out there quickly, and all these blue check Twitter names would go on there, and here's his address. You think he can beat minorities with the whip? Go get it, and don't bother seeking out the truth of it.
Yeah,
no. God, it makes me so mad.
Adam Sugar says more medians will fix everything.
And that's about all you can do is put a median between us at this point, I think, because and that's what I'll tell you though, that's all joking aside, that's what scares me about this is the two sides seem to be just going further and further apart, to where I used to feel like, hey, we have the same end goal, but we just have different ideas to get there. And now I question, do we have the same end goals? Do we, or are we truly a divided country that's heading in a different direction than each other?
I don't think Biden and the left like anything about our Constitution.
Agreed.
And the founding principles of this country that promise you the equal opportunity to pursue life and freedom and happiness, right?
And I think they've done a good job of persuading others to get on that bandwagon with them. And now it's cool to not like your country and to not be an American, or being American means something different now. It's,
how could you be against life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? I mean, seriously, are you that miserable that you've got to drag everybody else down to your misery so that they can no longer pursue those three things?
The pursuit means they have to get up off their butts and go do it a lot of the times. And they may just not want to do that. But if you do it, well, you have stuff that they don't now. And why are you entitled to have all these nice things that they're not entitled to? And that's why I hate everything progressive, right? The progressive tax system, the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Rob Moore Knippling, fear fueled by chaos. How can it not be confusing when there's a lack of truth? We have some laws we clearly allow to be circumvented and not enforced. Others are still heavily enforced. Keep them all confused until they don't know the difference. Yeah.
Spot on.
Absolutely. Between the truth and the lies. And we wonder why mental health is a crisis right now. Yeah, because we've been everything that you've been told is now you're now being told, no, it's that.
Mm-hmm. And why were you so stupid to think it the first time?
Yeah.
Well, because you told me it was. No, we didn't. Yeah, you did. That's just why I get confused. It's like they tell me something today, and okay, so tomorrow I start saying it, and everybody's like, no, you're wrong. Well, what do you mean? Well, that's changed. Obviously, everybody knows that, but you.
Peter McNally says we're too negative. Well, it's kind of where we are today.
Give me some positive, Peter.
Like, what is the positive?
Yeah, I mean, I want the positive. It's not our border. It's not our taxes. It's not.
But I see the problems right now in this country. We've got a border situation that is absolutely out of control, that was being controlled. We have an administration in Washington, D.C. that refuses to do anything, including follow the science.
Yeah.
Our government leaders are responsible and trying to claim victory for an economic recovery that they caused needlessly. And you've got extreme lockdown measures being implemented that are draconian and border on what happens in authoritarian regimes on a daily basis. I got a buddy in Australia. He lives in one province. His kids live in another province. They're grown adults. He can't go see them. They're a couple hours away. They're from here to Austin. They lock you in a hotel when you get there and you can't leave. They've got police and armed guards holding you hostage. You get caught driving on the street without permission, they'll take you to jail.
Quickly.
These are the things going on in the world, Peter. And there's people in this country that want to implement the exact same things and have no problem doing it.
And the walls against it are quickly crumbling. But no, Peter, I'd love to hear some positivity. And again, I mean, there are things happening and whatever that are positive, but this is the world we live in. And I would love somebody like Peter to explain a few of these things in a way that I could understand too.
I mean, we've shown through what is it? Third wave, fourth wave? I've lost track of the waves, but the data correlates to mass restrictions, lockdowns, and mask mandates, and the cases still climb.
Science.
So, I mean, if they work, the cases wouldn't climb, right?
You would think.
So,
morning,
Barbara
Sheriff.
Mickers, good morning. Sheriff Ladderback is in. And the one I laughed at and we were going to talk about the other day before we take a break. Now you've got a bunch of people pushing because Daniel Craig's fixing to be in his fifth and final Bond movie. I think it gets released this week. And now you got people pushing that the next James Bond needs to be a female.
Nope.
I've read Ian Fleming's books. If you want to create another character like James Bond as female, go right ahead. But James Bond as a character is not a female. That's just the way it is.
I've stopped watching quite a few shows that have gone overboard with the, when we saw some show the other day, these gangster bad guys in a room and this female lead character kicked in the door and they all looked at her. She's like, who's in charge here? And then this big old biker guy, I am. And she looked at him, not anymore. And it's like, in real life, they would have walked over and just wiped the floor with her and whatever. And I'm like, I can't watch this show. But you look on there and the males always look all corny now. They're hiding in the corner while a female kicks in the door and goes and beats up 6 or 7 men while there's some guy in the corner screaming, help me.
It's because they're all married.
Yeah, good point. I'm like, Tiffany, go get him. That guy looked at me wrong. Help me. Yeah, because she's, she keeps me in line for sure. She can get them.
These same folks complaining about James Bond aren't asking for Wonder Woman to be cast as a male.
Yeah, I did like Wonder Woman though. I thought
she played it good. Absolutely.
she nailed that part.
Wonder Woman was awesome.
Yeah, and it shows you what you can do in a good movie. Like, I liked it.
Morning, Wade and Carter.
Thank you. You're my new favorite caller.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Don't ask what I paid that guy.
I don't know who that guy was.
But
that was interesting.
I hope Brent heard that. I said private caller.
Too early. No, I wasn't looking at that. I could barely hear it. I was trying to get the phone line out. Yeah, no, obviously not.
That's too funny. Well, my day is made.
There you go.
I'm positive now. Hey, it's a good day today. Good day.
It's only 5:30 in Napa Valley, Brenny.
I was wondering. Is he messing with me?
I'll tell you who is up though. Allen's Wrecker Service. Doesn't matter time of day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you need a wrecker, Allen's Wrecker Service is there for you. 578-6300 is the number to call. Our go-to tow-to of the Wade and Carter Show. They should be yours as well. Any towing need, any wrecker service need, Allen's has you covered. 361-578-6300. Speaking of having you covered, Chesnick Furniture Company. Any cover you want to put on furniture, they can make it happen. You see a set you like, you don't like the color, they'll fix that for you. They can order it in any color. Leather, microfibers are all the rage these days. Maybe you want a 70s throwback to tweed. Remember the tweed sofas?
Nice.
Probably can do that too.
I think my grandma had one of those. I got a bunch of people mad at me with tweed.
Your grandma probably had tweed and then the plastic cover on top of that, right?
She did. And that thing was brand new 20 years later.
Right, it was.
Yep. Yeah. My couches don't last a week.
No.
I need to go to Chesnick.
Yeah. Get over to Chesnick Furniture Company, 116 West Juan Lynn, and visit with Bobby Leon and the gang, and they will hook you up with some great furniture at affordable prices. Still celebrating 101 years now in business, and no money down, no interest plans available. And get there today, you'll have it in your home tonight. I guarantee they'll deliver it if it's in stock, because you just do better at Chesnick. VCS Rocket Oilfield Services, the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer. If you're a first responder, get over there, get on FirstNet, dedicated network just for you. Others are trying to copy that now, but it's just not as effective or as reliable from what I understand. So get over to the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer on Kerr Boulevard. Sign up for FirstNet. You could probably pre-order your new iPhone 13 just in time for Christmas, or any Android offering that they have as well. And it's post-Caldo Wednesday. That means it's just Thursday. But your second last day of the week to get in there. The number 7, like I said, everybody that I've gone to have lunch with there has ordered the number 7 lately. So
I'll have to check it out.
It's a lot of food. That I know. It's a lot of food. And don't forget, if you don't want to cook this weekend, give Veracruz a call today and plan ahead. 576-6015. They can also offer items to go. Enchilada casseroles are phenomenal to stick in the fridge and heat it as you go. And then I'll get to that comment in a minute. Had me chuckling. And don't forget the fine folks at the Blue Bonnet Youth Ranch. Of course, the big celebrity showdown and dance golf tournament postponed until the spring, but the raffle's still going on. You can get to any of the Crossroads Banks locations, the one in Victoria, right there at the corner of John Stockbauer and Airline. They have tickets available. They're $20 a piece. or 6 for $100 at bluebonnetyouthranch.org, I think is the website.
That sounded good to me. That sounded official, and I think that's it. I'll roll with you on that.
Their silent auction is now open. It's also linked on their Facebook page. So the silent auction to raise money. And Claude Jacobs is going to come in and talk to us on Monday regarding the great things available. But one of the items on there, and this is probably right up your alley, you can bid on a part in an upcoming movie to be filmed in Texas.
Well, that's about the only way I'd get into it. So, yeah, I might have to do that.
Yeah.
I'll buy my way.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Till they, that's about the only way I'll get it. So I will go make a bid on that.
Yeah. Adam Sugar says, good to see you got some breathing room in your shirt today.
Well, I'm not going to wear this shirt anymore then. If this doesn't give me those muscles, then I'm not wearing it, Adam.
He hadn't washed and dried it yet.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
This shirt will no longer be worn.
So, I think it was a Western Journal because Anthony Fauci, when asked on the eve of college football, was all concerned and tries to raise fear that people shouldn't go to the games. And turns out that cases didn't spike in the wake thereof. It's now been 2 weeks since 100,000 people packed the swamp to watch Alabama and Florida, and cases, nothing. Similar, I think Virginia Tech data showed that they had one case from somebody that was at a game, and that was it. So the fear in the numbers again. So there's some positives. Go enjoy college football in the packed houses because across this country, it's being proven that those games are not super spreaders.
I don't even watch football or college football or any of that, but a couple weeks ago when they started taking the fields for the first time and you started seeing those stadiums packed and everybody jumping around, and I watched 6 or 7, like that fired me up. It was, I like to see us be Americans. I like to see us, I'm kind of a hermit sometimes and I like to get away from everybody and hide out, but in the same breath, like I like to see us unite. I like to see us gather again and go out and rock the stadium and see a team come out onto the field and cheer. I mean, that's what we do. That's who we are, you know, and that's what we need to get back to. And so, yeah, that fired me up, all those videos and seeing us come back and storm a field and take the field. Like, yeah, go get it.
Well, Everly says, I guess it's not just the Met Gala or the Emmys where people are immune.
Yeah, just
yeah, no, but not just where Democrats tend to gather either, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, I'm gonna pack the stadiums, pack them. I'm looking forward to going to a concert here soon and get right in the thick of it. Go for it.
Interestingly enough, I think one of the only venue or issues that they had with some cases was Lollapalooza, where everybody had to be vaccinated to get in, and I think they had some issues.
Yeah, I feel sorry for those poor attenders, like those guys at the gate that have to check all that and stuff. And
yeah,
who wants to do this? You know what I mean? Like it just, I don't know.
Netflix has bought the rights to the entire Roald Dahl story company.
To the what?
Roald Dahl.
Where are you reading that? Say that again.
Roald Dahl. The writer. Matilda, Willy Wonka, all that.
Okay, all right. I was thinking Roald. Yeah. I was not understanding Roald. The first name threw me because I
Roald.
Got it.
I guess the A didn't come out.
Yeah, like I was thinking. Yeah, it's Ronald without an N. All right,
Roald Dahl.
Yeah, sorry, I was just lost there for a second.
Right. I'm trying to, bring something positive.
No,
I've liked his stories. And aside from the Gene Wilder version of Willy Wonka, I've struggled with the film adaptations of the books.
Yeah, well, because your mind can always paint such a cooler picture.
And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Stephen King movies for the books have never really transferred.
So it was the same guy that did all three of those? Willy Wonka, Matilda, and James?
He wrote them all, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
Matilda, I don't know Matilda, but Willy Wonka and the James and the Giant Peach, those are cool when I was little.
So I don't know. I've just never I don't know.
Yeah, there's been very few that I think captured that, and because they're just always more grand in your, you can make them whatever you want in your mind, You know, I'm really cool in my own head. Really cool.
And it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah, man. I mean, I am my biggest fan.
You should be. And
somebody has to be. Me and the caller that called in today, my buddy.
You don't need anybody else to pump
me and him against the world.
No, you're your own. It's self-esteem for a reason. It's what you give it. Nobody else can give you self-esteem, right?
Nope. And if my wife allows me to have it, then I'm going to take
it. She's got your self-esteem.
Yeah, she's got it all.
Along with your cojones in her purse.
All of it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. See, she's got me there. Yes, ma'am.
She won't give them back either.
But if I do good, she might. She said so. She told me.
She might give you half your self-esteem and.
As long as I do everything I'm told, she told me I might get a little back.
One of your cojones back.
Yeah.
That's it.
But one.
Yeah, just one. You
Yeah.
can't have them both.
She does a good job with them. I don't need both of them. It is 2021 America, My wife definitely needs to be in control of those. I'm kidding, guys. I keep my wife, she's barefoot in the kitchen right now, if anybody's wondering.
I don't know why you would. Why you
she knows.
Yeah.
She knows. She's probably driving down here right now to drag me out of this studio, right on camera in front of everybody. Yeah. Nah, I got a good one. She takes good care of me.
Yeah, no, we both do. I outkicked our coverage on that one, to use a metaphor.
Yeah,
we both did.
We really did. How's Clyde on a side note? He's my little buddy. I'm always leaving that Clyde pressure on you, man. I know. That's the one area I backdoor you and I have your back on everything else, but on that one, I'm always going to be in Clyde's corner. That's your dog. He's your spirit dog, man.
Oh, he is, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Trying to get him on a rescue trip to Canada, but I don't know if I want him that far away from me.
Man, I'll tell you, Sprout's a little, Clyde reminds me of Sprout. Sprout's got some little issues that make him his own dog, but in the same breath, like just last night I was looking at him and I was just so happy that little dog was alive and he wouldn't have been if Toy Stone hadn't pulled him and all that. And that's Clyde, Clyde didn't have much time left out there. His days were it was only a matter of time and
well, we got him right. And I appreciate you helping, but we picked him up, 2 days before the freeze?
Yeah. I mean, that would have gotten real bad. I mean, we were out there freezing, trying to get him as it was coming. And that was a good thing. I like Clyde. And I've never seen ham hocks on a dog like that before. Does he still have those huge thighs, like those little chicken legs that were like?
He's more, he's like, he runs more. He doesn't jump. Like I remember when the first day I came over to see him at your place, and he's on your counter.
Yeah, he jumps right onto the countertop, a high countertop.
Yeah, like workbench height. And I was like, wow. And I mean, I wouldn't expect that, but he's still leery of people. Got to work on that, but he's getting better. But he's so lovable.
Yeah.
And but he's awesome.
Yeah, Clyde's your dog, man. He's your spirit dog. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know.
But you put in the work for that, though. You really did. You built that relationship, and people don't see that. The times that you spent after a long day at the office, out there chasing a little dog just to help it, and you did good on that one, man.
Thank you.
You did good on all your dogs. It's a never-ending fight, and you can never do enough. It feels like, but you've done well on that. And I appreciate you for it, and I appreciate you and all the other people that rescue animals. You guys do a great job.
Appreciate that.
Man, that was terrible. Conor McGregor's pitch.
Wasn't it, though?
We did an episode on what was that team that was the Armadillos that was going to come here. And we filmed a Meet Victoria that never actually aired on that. But I had to go out there and throw one of those pitches. And I was so just terrified that I was going to go off into the stands or something. And I actually threw a strike. It was a slow strike. I mean, Truman probably could have knocked that thing out of the park, but I threw a strike. And so I walked off happy with that. And I think it was a 35-mile-an-hour fastball. And the guy had just thrown like an 89-mile-an-hour. So I'm not a pitcher, but I threw a strike.
Yeah, I mean, was it 50 Cent who just absolutely couldn't get anywhere close?
That's what I heard, but I didn't. I saw his a long time ago, but I don't recall it. But Conor McGregor, I mean, you're an athlete, world-class athlete. Like, you got to have some level of he threw it off into the stands, I believe.
Well, first off, he's wearing a suit. That doesn't work well.
Yeah,
right?
A really tight suit, too.
And then, I mean, he just airmails that thing straight to the backstop. I mean, I give him some credit. He's a lefty. He's a southpaw. And he pulled that pitch across his body far to his right. Most people, when they let it go, it'll come out of their hand early and it'll be way off to the left. So at least he tried to gain some control. But that was, I mean,
yeah, but I threw real slow and just tried to aim real hard and just, aim small, miss small type thing.
But I will say this, for anybody who doesn't know, throwing off a mound is completely different than throwing off level ground, and it'll screw you up.
Well, for the commandos, it's a lot harder than it looks to get out on that thing and throw a strike. I mean, everybody always says what they're going to do. I'll go down there and I'll throw my own strike, then I'll run around and I'll hit my own ball and knock it over the back. No, you won't. And you're not going to do any of those things.
Ricky King asked if he was wearing a Pee Wee Herman type suit. It did look like that, Ricky. It did resemble that.
I don't like that look. I mean, a good fitting suit looks clean, looks nice. It looks powerful, but not when they're painted on. In the high waters. Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm not down with the high water pants that show your shoe tops.
Me either. Don't like that.
I'm just and they're and tapered and tight.
Yeah, I don't
mainly because I can't pull that look off.
Me either. In fact, I have bird legs and they look ridiculous.
It's just not a good look.
What did my wife say right there?
She's literally in the kitchen barefoot making Truman pancakes, listening to your shenanigans.
Yeah, see, I told you guys I have her in check, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just totally kidding, Tiffany. Don't get mad at me. Yeah,
locks will be changed when you get home tonight.
Yep.
Gary Bump is in this morning. J. Mark Jameson checking in. Jim Hartman, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Hartman.
Yeah. I think my phone's over there, so I wasn't sure, but I guess
you wonder if
I wonder. Well, something obviously came up because I connected with him yesterday, but
that's all right.
That's all right. Atsenoffer.com. Tired of something coming up with your unreliable ride all the time? Get over to Atsenoffer at Atsenoffer.com. Find your next ride at Atsenoffer. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Mitsubishi, Mazda. All makes and models of pre-owned. They can service any make. Inspections, body work. They've got it all. Atsenoffer and Atsenoffer.com. Only since 1926, folks. White Trash Services, 550-1826. Not since 1926, but since BJ and Scott Nelson purchased White Trash Services, they've been blowing and going, growing the business, providing more and more options for trash collection and customers in Victoria and the 6 contiguous counties.
I like them because they're passionate about what they do. And their passion, it bleeds over and you see it. They don't have to sell you on their stuff. They just go out and do it, and their actions speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's one of the things, to just come in and take over like that and to do it through hard work and determination. That's always something that I appreciate.
And to grow it from basically a manila folder with a list of a few names of clients and customers on a yellow pad.
Mm-hmm.
To take it where it is now moved and morphed into White Trash Site Services. And it's not just weekly collection anymore. You wheel it out to your curb and they come pick it up. They've got dumpsters that are available. They've got roll-off containers that are available for bigger projects. And they now can handle and help you with the cleanup and demolition with White Trash Site Services. So
you might even make a friend out of it too.
And they bill you quarterly, so it's convenient.
Can I send my bill your way?
No, it's not that convenient.
Not that convenient. Okay.
But it's convenient.
I like them though. They're solid people.
They are. BJ and Scott have done a great job, and they support this community. And that's awesome.
Do, man. They're in everything. They put their money where their mouth is, or their mouth where their money is. Whatever the saying is. Yep, they do it.
Complete 360. The Health Bar right here in Red River. Great assortment of healthy eating options. I like their paninis.
Well, I obviously need to get over there if my shirts aren't showing off muscles anymore. I need to get over there,
get some
healthy food. Yep.
Get some protein packed panini and build some muscle. You're looking a little gaunt these days.
I know. I'm glad Adam was there to remind me of it too, my buddy.
But I love their paninis. I mean, it's basically an Italian grilled cheese is what it is, but
yeah, that's good
way
stuff.
Better. Their ham and pears is my favorite. I think it's also I think Patrick Strauss stops by and gets that one as well. So listener approved as well. The law offices of Stephen Kidder. If you need legal advice, an attorney, for anything, whether it's just setting up, a family trust, or you want to establish a will. You've now got a family, a young one. You don't have a will. Give the law offices of Stephen Kidder a call. He can help you with that. Most importantly, he can probably avoid or help you avoid the courtroom.
And that will thing to do that. I mean, that's such a huge. When my grandmother passed, she had all those things taken care of for us, and it was the biggest blessing in the whole world to not have to show up and think about what to do, because she had her will and her living will that, I mean, spelled out everything in detail. And it was one
Here's
of the biggest
what I want.
gifts.
Here's how it's going to happen.
It was one of the biggest gifts that she ever gave us, was that peace, and that's something when your family loses you and it's terrible. I mean, that's a gift you can give them. It sounds terrible now, but man, that's a good one.
Yeah, never mind the $100 million she left you, but but it was how orderly everything was. Yes.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten that $100 million yet.
Well, it's tied up.
Maybe she didn't do that right. Now, on second thought, But
it's tied up in probate. Everybody's coming for a piece of that.
America. That's the way it goes these days.
And Razor IT Solutions, John Paul Hull, and the gang at Razor IT understand the back end of your computer system, and they can explain it to you if you want them to, or they don't have to if you don't care.
Just let them do it.
Just let them do it, and set it and forget it is kind of the way they go when it comes to the IT side of things. So give John Paul Hull a call.
That was
Razor IT Solutions. That was
John Paul Hall a call.
That was a tricky one.
Well done.
So, Peter McNally said to keep it positive.
I'm with it.
I will start there, but then I will also ask a question.
Talk to me.
That I don't mean to be negative, but I wonder. And I'm not a huge fan of Elon Musk. I think he's leveraged government dollars with Tesla to get where he's gotten. I think he had nefarious intentions when he was trying to build a tunnel network underneath LA. I think he's getting a free pass on some of his self-driving automobiles that have absolutely turned into wrecks and killed people. But here's a guy who has said, you know what? I'm going to go it alone. I'm going to launch in West Texas or New Mexico from the privately owned space launching sites that are there. But this is American ingenuity, and he just got back over the weekend. Not him, but the first ever private crew manned trip to outer space. And this thing kind of got a blip on the weekend. Maybe that was his fault. He landed. I came home on a Saturday,
something like that.
So you miss the all the excitement that would come with landing on a Monday or a Tuesday. But this thing should be. I mean, this is
big news.
This is Wright brothers, in a sense. I know we've been there as a government, but the government doesn't exactly give away all their technology and insight into these things, right?
Yep. We just had a bunch of civilians go to space and land back, and we're talking about Border Patrol guards with their whips on horses. And instead of celebrating the fact that we just did that. But I think that's part of it, because they did it a lot more efficiently than the government did. They did it without, the government and all their red tape that comes with it, and probably for half the price, And so I think that it endangers narratives, and it puts a free market can do it for this price and do it successfully. How do they get away with charging all this money on this side and being government and sucking?
And you have to wonder where, the Biden administration didn't even acknowledge this.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would they ignore something like this?
I just think it's the way they are. Look at after a disaster here when a hurricane and who is it that, don't get me wrong, the government tries and those agencies try, but it's HEB in the free market. It's that's who comes in and moves the needle and whatever. But you don't go on the news and you don't hear how HEB came in, and you hear how the federal government came in and they did this and that. And I will go free market every single time.
But you know what's interesting with that? The people know.
Mm-hmm.
After Harvey, we knew that folks like HEB were coming in and doing what they did.
Right.
We didn't need the government then to tell us. And but even the media kind of ignored a little bit what happened with his space flight over the weekend and the fact that he sent up, 4-man crew.
Yeah, that should have been huge news because I watched it. Like it's neat too because they had all those cameras in there and they were narrating the whole thing as they came in and it was that's just cool, and we have guys here in Victoria like Mr. Posey who way back in the day, he was part of the rescue that went out and pulled those people out of the water, and here it is happening again and nobody even talks about it, and that guy's right here in Victoria we have one of those guys that went out and pulled those people out of a shuttle. That's cool, and I makes me feel dumb for not asking him his thoughts on that this week. If anybody's got an opinion they could talk about, that would be him on that, And
Ricky King may have a good point. And I didn't even think about this. It's because the government's in bed with SpaceX and they don't want Elon Musk to succeed because it would make them look bad.
Yeah,
might be.
It's always optics.
But again, that kind of echoes our point. The government partnered with them. Again, government picking winners and losers. And Elon Musk has said, screw you, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go and do it anyway.
That's always been kind of my problem with government picking and choosing winners. That's why, I've never been a big fan of the tax abatements and stuff like that, because I think what's good for one is good for all. I agree, lower taxes, so if you want to use a tax abatement to get Caterpillar in here, great. But also use that tax abatement to get Ash Realty or Shaw, whatever it is you want to do. If it's good for them, it's good for me. And it always boggles my mind that Caterpillar doesn't have to pay taxes, but Shaw Realty does, and it's like it reminds me of like phone customers with your phone, like you've been with Verizon and your bill keeps going up every month, or T-Mobile, name one,
But the new customer
free for the next 10 years, and we'll give you 6 phones and everybody in your family, and you're like, wait a minute, man, I've been with you guys for 15 years. Can I get $10? Nope. In fact, your bill just went up. You shouldn't have complained, and that's how I feel.
Retention's cheaper for them than acquisition.
Yeah, and that's how. Yeah, I imagine what you would do if you gave 90%, instead of catering to 1 or 2 or 3 businesses in this town with tax abatements and stuff like that. If you gave 98% of this community a tax abatement or gave them more money back in their pocket, it's going to go back into the community, and that's why I like the consumption tax so much. Is it just, it's the one I can hold my nose the most with, and taxation is stuff to me, but at least that one I can hold my nose. I didn't want to talk taxes. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to take it there. I don't know what just happened.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, taxation is stuff. So it's my last day, man. I got to get all my stuff out before y'all kick me off of here, and it's like that. It's like fish, after it starts to stink after a while, and my invitation is running its course, so got to get all my stuff out before you boot me out of here.
Not at all. Motto Mortgage, Terry Murray. Give Terry a call for all your mortgage needs. She can help you assess your situation, figure anything out. 541-5454 is the number to call. Went Services, electrical work, plumbing work, generators, solar power, wind power. Went has all you need, and no longer are you waiting for somebody else to show up to make connections. If it requires some plumbing work, they've got plumbers in-house that can do it all. So it's really a more convenient call than ever before. And USA Concrete Coatings, 578 Home, Charlie Garcia and the gang can come and turn any drab slab into something transformational. And they'll get it done in most cases in less than a day. So, the sports world is always worried about betting, and particularly players betting on outcomes. And Evander Kane, San Jose Sharks forward, was accused by, I think, his ex-wife or estranged wife of betting on Sharks games. NHL says they've investigated, found no evidence of that. So
I saw that in there, but I'm here, boys, positive. You're talking about positive, which y'all are, and you're doing great, and I love this. And you're going to love this, Caleb. And Ash, I'm going this direction today.
Brother Man's here.
And thank y'all for allowing me to be here. You guys are doing super. I'm going to start with this. disabled American veterans. We have a benefit. Let me go to the positives here. We have a benefit this weekend at VFW Hall, Saturday, featuring, and as you know, this guy, Daryl McCall. Daryl McCall will be there. He's going to be singing.
Cool.
Dance from 7-11 and dinner at 5:30, benefiting those guys that serve disabled American veterans. That'll be Saturday night.
Saturday night.
At VFW Hall.
Outstanding.
I want to
Outstanding.
put that one in. That's one. We got several of them, man. I love this stuff. Good stuff. And I love y'all talking about animals. I saw a little cat outside coming in. A little gray cat out here. Drinking some water. He just runs around, keep himself alive. Y'all talk about animals. That touches my heart right there. I'm all for that. That's big. And this boy loves them.
Yes, he does.
You do too.
Yes, sir.
Too, but we love them. All right, we're going to go on. Let's go. Recovery Fund Day. Billy T. Catan, Recovery Outreach. And I'm a part of that organization. We got some news later on I'll tell you about coming up. But they're at the office parking lot of Fun Day, 10 to 1. I'm going to be out there with them, 802 East Crestwood. I want to mention that. This Saturday, National Night Out Kickoff Party. We're always talking about law enforcement. Got to have them. Can't live without them.
Yes, sir.
National Night Out Kickoff Party, 5 days. I'm saying that, Daily on Plaza. A phone party, it's going to be entertainment, but it's all about partnering together to fight crime.
Yes, sir.
Then don't forget the Wade and Carter 5th anniversary party, Rock the Yacht.
That's a good
Club
one.
Western, October 8th. Tickets available. There's an event page on the Facebook page, Wade and Carter Facebook page. $10 plus fees. Going to be a good time.
It is a good time. I'm coming. I'm starting football games, stay for a while. I'm coming to your party. Border to border. You talked about that motorcycle Cannonball endurance run.
Yep.
Coming up.
Cannonball run tomorrow.
Talked to a few of those people.
Steve Klein's going to be in here tomorrow to talk about it, but looking forward to it. Hundreds of bikes
Can't wait to see that.
will be at the Victoria Mall on the south end of the parking lot. They'll start rolling in, I think, around 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And there'll be a car show there as well. I think Roy Gutierrez has got his car show going to be out, or car club will be out there. So going to be real cool to see some of those motorcycles. How old do they go back, or what? Where do they? Pre-1930s. So I was wrong when they said vintage. I was thinking maybe some 50s or 60s Harleys or something, but no, we're going before that. Wow, awesome.
Roy Gutierrez, good guy. And I want to mention this.
These things don't look anything like motorcycles today.
No, but I want to see them.
Yeah. Way cooler. Way cooler.
Roy Gutierrez, Crossroads Cruisers Car Club. We gave $1,000, and I'm a member of that honorary. I don't have the cars.
Those are good guys over there.
Give $1,000 to Meals on Wheels.
Nice.
Past Wednesday night. I want to mention that. And Friday night.
Some of those guys should deliver. Then they'd truly be Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
They got the cars to do it, you know.
And people will come out to see.
Yeah,
exactly.
They would. Yeah,
We're on to something. We're on to something here, Roy.
Yeah, we got you, Roy.
We got you, Roy.
More work for you, buddy.
And I like this Friday night too. A benefit we like to have was the Texas Zoo has their Wild About Wine on Friday night. Texas Zoo, 7 to 11 down there. I've got football, Flower Bluff at East. I'll be at Memorial Stadium, but Wild About Wine. I'm trying to get them all. Get the motorcycles in the afternoon car show. This is a super Friday too. We've got that. And then I want to give these people a plug. I know the Busbys, Miss Busby passed away, mother of young Mr. Busby. I graduated with him. Gabby's husband, Jim Busby. Fall for Dance, Victoria Ballet Theater, Welder Center. I've been a big supporter because I know the Busby, so we were all graduated together. 2 o'clock at the Welder Center and 7 o'clock. So we wanted a little positive.
That's Saturday?
That's Saturday. That's some good things.
A lot of good things.
On. There's stuff in Cuero and in the Kolache Fest in Hallsville. Cuero celebrating 175-year anniversary.
Kolache Fest is this weekend?
Kolache Fest, Saturday all day in Hallsville.
And there's Jaguar Soccer today.
Jaguar Soccer.
This afternoon starting at 1, and then Saturday starting at 1. Conference matches kicking off this weekend.
Yeah, we
LSU Alexandria today and Louisiana College on Saturday. So
and you've got so many good
just
things.
$5 gets you in. I mean, you can't beat it.
Well, and he's got the right sports stuff right there. And you know, we love all those events. There's so many. I could go on. There's a ton.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to mention also, should be some good games in college football. Texas, and they're playing Texas Tech. Texas Tech and Texas.
Big 12 matchup.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Well, you know we have to stick with our team. There's no doubt about it. But Texas A&M and Arkansas too ought to be a good game, man. Those are some undefeated
Arkansas is playing pretty good.
Yeah. So you got two. Texas Tech is undefeated. So,
I'm just nodding my head like I know exactly what you
Yeah.
guys are talking
well,
about.
you like
Yes,
Texas Longhorns, right? You like the Longhorns?
yes, of course.
You
Yes,
like
sir.
the Aggies?
Absolutely. I like them all. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something.
Texas.
You got a lot of Texas and Aggie.
I'm just going to cover it. I'm pro Texas.
SMU's turning some heads too.
Yeah, SMU's doing pretty good.
So Texas is
Like
7.5 point favorites. So basically a touchdown. What do you think?
Well, I have to stick with them in Texas.
Do they win and cover, or do they just win?
I just hope they win. We just hope they win. That's going to be tough. Texas Tech's playing good ball. It's, of course, at Texas. You're at Texas right there. And it starts at 11 o'clock. Do you know that? It's an early game.
Early game.
They got almost 80,000 the other day for Rice, and Rice is one of the 10 worst teams they said in the nation.
Pack them in.
I think Texas wins. I do.
I think Texas wins too.
I don't know that Sarkisian will lay a goose egg another week.
I hope not. Aggies at Arkansas, that would be a tough game.
At Arkansas,
and Aggies are what?
4.5 point favorites as of right now.
I'm sticking with the boys from Texas A&M.
I'm thinking Arkansas wins this one. I haven't picked many. I've not done well in my pick'ems this year, but I think Arkansas wins this one.
Okay.
At home, they played well against Texas. They're going to want to show that they can beat,
Right.
both Texas teams. So
I'm going. Yeah, I stay with the Texas teams. I'll probably might take a hit. Philadelphia, Dallas on Monday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking, Lee, I know Lee Caballero, he'll be there with all this.
Ready to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Dallas is slight favorite.
I think Dallas wins that one.
I do too. I don't think Philadelphia's as good as they thought.
No, Washington State, Utah.
Yeah.
At Utah. Utah's two touchdown favorites. I think Washington State pulls off the
Come
win.
on, Washington State. That's yours.
Well, that's fine. My Cougs need to do it.
And Caleb, whether you like sports or not, you're a good guy. So
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I was nodding along and following to the best of my ability there.
Thank you
It's,
for having me on your show.
Yeah, hey, thank you for coming on my show. It was
So
great to
what
see you.
about the Texans, brother? What are they doing? They got Carolina. Carolina's surprisingly 2-0.
Carolina's good.
And Carolina's, I think, a touchdown favorite, 6 points maybe.
Carolina's up to 8 points. Started out probably down to 6. I'm liking Houston, but Mills is going to be their quarterback. Ash.
No, that is 8 points. Yeah.
Mills is going to be their quarterback. Tyrod Taylor got hurt, so Mills is going to be starting quarterback. Come on, Texas, man. We got, whether you like sports or not, Texans, Cowboys, Horns, and Aggies right there.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, though, is starting to show what he can do
He's good.
when he's got an offensive line and he's healthy. The only question in Carolina is, can he stay healthy? But he's looked pretty darn good. He's thrown for, close to 300 yards a game on average and 3 touchdowns.
I like it. And let me tell you, Houston played Cleveland tough last week. They did.
Yeah.
And Cleveland's ranked was up there in the top 5 in power rankings.
But outside of maybe Kyler Murray in Arizona, is there anyone more exciting to watch than Christian McCaffrey for Carolina?
He's terrific. That guy's terrific. Stanford boy.
That's tonight's game, right?
That's tonight's game. Yeah, Houston plays tonight.
Yeah.
Thursday night football.
So
We'll be over at your house.
Probably not, but I'm always pro Texas, so go
Yeah.
Texans.
You just take care of that dog.
That dog and my kid,
Yeah.
yes
And
sir.
tell them, go out to the adoption centers, get those cats and dogs. They need help. Dorothy O'Connor, Adopt a Pet, please go out there. We want to have good things about those
Absolutely,
little buddies.
absolutely,
We
yes
need them
sir.
to have homes.
Yeah, appreciate you
Agreed.
stopping by, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the positive news this morning.
Positive.
One more positive: NHL training camps are underway.
There you go.
So hockey season's just around the corner.
Thank
My
you
time of
again
year.
for letting me
Caleb,
come on,
thank
man.
you for being here all week. Enjoyed
Yes,
it.
sir. I
Got some good
appreciate it.
feedback on the shows. Really appreciate it. So
I hope so, guys. Thanks for tolerating me and not revolting